In today's Sharp Saturday video, we're going to take a look at another made in the USA knife, the TOPS Backpacker Bowie, or Bowie. That's what's coming up next here on Survival on Purpose. Welcome back to Survival on Purpose, your home for trustworthy information and gear reviews related to camping, survival, and general preparedness for regular folks. My name's Brian. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for joining me here, by the way, on a busy Saturday afternoon here at the Survival on Purpose Worldwide headquarters. All around me, people are being productive. There's lawnmowers going on and power washers and probably leaf blowers and who knows what else. So we're going to endeavor to persevere here. But I digress. Anyway, the folks at TOPS Knives were kind enough to send me one of their Backpacker Bowie knives, or Bowie, however you want to say it, so I can show it to you. And just to be clear, this one is, can you see it, made in the USA, like all of TOPS knives actually. So we're going to get down to the old stump top and get to doing some of that knife stuff right after this word from one of our sponsors. Yeah, I know my promos aren't as cool as his, okay? Give me a break. He's got a staff, he's got the beard, he's got the hair. Sorry, we're just talking about Sportsman's Guide promos. And I started thinking about when exactly I joined Sportsman's Guide as a member, and I think it was before Obama was president. So that's a long time ago. So it's pretty cool to have Sportsman's Guide as a sponsor right now, especially since they are literally a one-stop shop for everything related to camping, survival, and general preparedness for regular folks. So if you haven't checked out Sportsman's Guide, I encourage you to do so. I think you'll be glad you did. Okay, we're back. So before we get down to the old stump top, there's about 2 or 3 things I want to tell you about TOPS knives, and we'll get to doing some knife stuff. First of all TOPS knives, as I said, are made in the USA. I think that's pretty cool because they're keeping Americans working. Second, TOPS has just got a really good reputation in the industry and amongst knife users for putting out a really high quality product with really good craftsmanship and workmanship. And third, workmanship. Did I say workmanship? And third, they're really famous for their differential heat treat, which means that the edge portion of the blade is treated to be harder than the spine other portions. So as it gets towards the spine, it gets softer. What that does, that allows them to have a good hard edge, so you have good edge retention, you'll be able to keep it sharp, but it allows the blade itself to be tough enough to take care of business. So anyway, just wanted to kind of point those things out. Now, let's get down to the old stump top and get to doing some of that knife stuff. Okay, so here we are with the TOPS Backpacker Bowie. As you can see, this is kind of a medium-sized knife, and the design intent of this knife is to allow you to have a solid, usable, tough fixed blade knife, but not take up a lot of room or a lot of weight. And I think TOPS did a pretty good job of kind of bridging the gap there between a larger fixed blade and a smaller folder. I know a lot of backpackers, for example, don't even want to have a knife with them, but you know me, I'm not going in the woods without a fixed blade. So anyway, let's talk about the specs of this thing. First of all, this knife features a really cool Bowie style knife. This one has a sharpened swedge, which is optional, but it's a 4.5-inch blade. It is 0.16 inch thick, differentially heat treated, tumble finished, 1095. The handle is green canvas micarta with these really cool little silver or gray liners. The overall length of the knife is 8¼ inches, and it weighs 7.2 ounces. With the sheath, it weighs 9.7 ounces. Speaking of the sheath, this features a black Kydex sheath with the TOPS kind of swivel belt clip around it. We'll take a closer look at that in a minute, but let me give you a stem to stern look at this thing to show you the detail on it. First of all, you can look at the grind on this thing. It is absolutely 100% perfect. And this is the swedge here. The swedge is sharpened. If you look at the front here, this is perfect there. Again, this is optional, so you don't have to have that sharpened swedge, but I like it because it gives you a kind of an auxiliary cutting edge that you can keep sharp and not really have to use it very much, but you'll have it if you need it. And then you can see as it goes on down, it's got this little notch right here. This is for breaking wire, or what's really good for is lifting a pot off the fire, so you can just kind of hook the belt in that. Just going back, there's some jimping right here. A little more jimping mid-handle. I hadn't really figured that one out. The only thing I think of is if you're trying to maybe choke up on it like so, to do some light chopping, it gives you a little grip there. Nice little finger guard here with a loop in it, and it also has a lanyard loop in the back, so you could put a loop all the way around your hand. And then some nice little finger swales here. I can say this, it just feels really, really good in my hand, and my fingers fit in there really well. I wear medium gloves, so if you have really large hands, it's probably going to stick off the end a little bit, but probably still going to be pretty comfortable for you. But this is a really, I mean, I'm giving the old Chris Tanner squeeze test, and there's no hot spots on it. It's a nice rounded, smooth handle. And so there's that. And the sheath, it fits in again really well. It's, you know, I guess you could shake it out if you really tried. So anyway, let's get to doing some knife stuff. So first of all, the first thing I want to do is the redneck sharp test. And I'm going to run out of hair if I can, on these straight sharp Saturdays, but let's just see if this thing is sharp enough to shave with. So, doesn't quite shave hair. So there's that. Let's see how well it'll chop off. You see I've kind of chopped that part of the way through. We'll just chop a little bit on it and see what happens. Here we go. And again, I'm going to use the 2-finger grip here and use the little jimping there, because it's definitely not a chopper. But if you had to chop something small, like make a notch or whatever, let's just see if you can do that with it. I mean, obviously this is not a chopper, but it's kind of worthwhile to test the blade maybe just a little bit. So, but what about some batoning? This is pretty dry. Let's just try it and see. My experience with TOPS knives is they take a licking and keep on ticking. So, ready? This is about the limit of what you want to try to baton because of that sharpened swedge, but we're going to bang on the back side here. And by the way, you can see we went right through a knot there. Set that aside. What I'm trying to do is get something out here we can make some feathers out of, so I just split this thing out like so. I don't know if it's going to be featherable material here or not. Let's see. Okay, let's try this. By the way, you'll be happy to know the dogs are out next door, so let's just see if we can do some feathers here, though. Not bad there. Let's see if we can try the top edge just for fun. Gotta be careful. You don't want to reach down here and push with your thumb. That would be bad. Well, you know what? Not too bad for the old top edge there. Not bad at all. So, obviously it's got a good edge on it. Feels good in your hand. You know where we're going next, right? Because we have to. Isn't there some sort of law? I've got the old ferro rod. Now I will say in the past, many of TOPS knives do not have a really sharp spine on them. This one doesn't feel really sharp, but we're going to see if it's sharp enough to get something done here with this. Just completely dry, bone dry, no fat wood, just shavings. Let's see what happens. And as I suspected, not really super sharp. Let's try with the striker itself and see if we can get us a fire going. And we were able to get a fire going with a striker, because you know we got to have a fire, right? Wouldn't be a knife review without a fire. Okay, well that was some basic knife tasks with the TOPS Backpacker Bowie, and as I expected, it did really well. Even though it didn't shave any really hair on my arm really well, it carved some feathers exceptionally well, including even the little sharpened swedge up here, and just did a really good job on that. As far as batoning goes, you know, this is pretty much designed to be an all-around camp use, just camp use knife for just basic stuff. So you could baton something small, you know, maybe a couple of inches if you need to get to the inside of it. But overall, it's just an all-around good, useful knife, and it feels really good in your hand. So what I thought I'd do is, let me show you how the sheath works. This is, as you can see, it's just a nice snap-in sheath with the tops kind of rotating belt clip. And if I can get this belt clip, the camera to show you, you can see on the bottom it's got this little return up here. So once you get that on your belt, it's not going to just pop off. You're going to have to really push it down and take it off. So let me take you down to your waistband area here, show you how that works, and then we'll get to doing the scientific portion of the testing. So let me just show you, first of all, let me just pull this up here. So I've got my pistol here, but if you wanted to put it here, you just pop it down, and then it catches right on there. So you can wear it like that. You can wear it on the way like that. So if it's not in your way, and if you want to take it off, you just got to reach behind it, turn it sideways, you can see it a little better, and just pop that up, it comes off. What's cool about it is, if you want to make a cross draw out of it, on the other side, flip it down there, it's kind of angling it where it's not poking you anywhere, and it's got enough swivel in it, so as you move, it'll move with you. So, and then you can have a cross draw, and you have it right there if you need it. Okay, now that we have taken a look at the sheath, let's get all scientific here. Now, first of all, let me just say right up front, I think I said this on the very first TOPS knife I ever reviewed, which I believe was the TOPS Bob. The paperwork that came with that knife anyway says that the warranty does not cover throwing a knife. Now, as I said in that video, I don't know why anybody would ever want to throw a knife. However, here at Survival on Purpose Worldwide headquarters, we do maintain a state-of-the-art, cutting-edge knife testing facility, and we always like to test the balance of every fixed blade knife. And to do that, we use the balance, orientation, and rotation device there. So we're going to test this one too. I mean, it feels pretty well balanced already, but there's no substitute for science. That one was a little high, but it stuck. Okay, we're going to call this one balanced. Hopefully that was a somewhat informative and at least mildly entertaining look at the TOPS Backpacker Bowie. And if you're looking for a really functional and capable knife that is small enough and lightweight enough to where it won't weigh you down, take up a lot of room in your pack, you might want to check out the TOPS Backpacker Bowie. Again, made in the USA. So once again, thanks to the folks at TOPS for sending me this so I could show it to you. And as always, thank you for watching Survival on Purpose. I put out a new video every Friday and Saturday, and sometimes random videos throughout the week. We got all sorts of dog action going on here. If you don't want to miss a single one, I invite you to subscribe to my weekly email newsletter at survivalonpurpose.com/subscribe. I really appreciate all the support. Once again, my name's Brian. You're watching Survival on Purpose. Remember, survival's not an accident, so be prepared. I'll see you next time.